Over the past couple of years, there's been various dramas and controversies surrounding Vivziepop and the Spindlehorse team as a whole. The most recent discourse started the other day discussing various chat logs that had been posted from Vivziepop's Patreon Discord a few years back. The initial tweet that started all this reads, "Vivziepop guilt-tripping one of her patrons, this is so sick." Attached to the tweet they leave a compilation of screenshots between Vivzi and said patron in the Patreon Discord server, which I'll go through now. It starts with the patron asking for a refund due to them having some financial problems from their roommate eating all their food. They ask to be refunded the $40 they've already been charged for that month and then move down to the $5 tier instead. Vivziepop then rightly states that she's concerned about refunding them when they've already got the perks and rewards for that month, and how it would be unfair to both her and the other patrons that have also paid for the same rewards but also won't receive their money back. She then goes on to say that she understands sudden life issues and is willing to refund 40 of the 50 they've pledged. The patron then decided to claim they never received any of the perks of being pledged, despite getting access to all the artwork and being in the patron exclusive call. Vivziepop talks about this and then goes on to reiterate that she understands and that she'll send the money back. She just didn't understand what they meant when asking to be moved down a pledge tier on the Patreon. Vivziepop then restates that she feels it's unfair since they had access to all the perks, but it's okay and understands that life comes first. In response to this, the patron decides to ask how much she thinks it's worth, which Vivzi rightly replies that it's what they signed up for and they can't just decide after the fact. Another user in the server chimes in saying that the roommate should just cough up the money if the roommate is going to eat so much, which realistically is what should happen. The patron just replies lol and ignores the other comments the user makes, which is a bit strange. After a small back and forth, they say to just keep the money and that they don't care, and that they will call their mum or something. Vivziepop says that they will give the money back because she cares about the money issues, but just wanted to explain why it was an unfair ask, especially since this is in the general of the Patreon chat. The patron then says that she can keep the money and that her art is worth it, and apologizes for bothering her and switches up the comments about how the Patreon is actually worth it instead. When going through this, the title of the post seems off considering it seems to be the opposite. Vivziepop is in a kind of lose-lose situation here because if she says flat out no to this, she seems like an asshole, but if she just agrees to it, she could set a precedent that people might take advantage of to get the rewards and the money, especially since she's had a lot of people try and claim money back before. It's kind of weird they just ignored the other user saying they should get the money from the roommate that stole their food. Realistically, if you're $40 off from being unable to eat for the month, pledging to patrons is the last thing you should be doing. It's not Viv's responsibility to fix the issue for them, but it was nice of her that she was clearly willing to do so. After this post, another Twitter user made an interesting thread talking about the poster of the initial thread from earlier. They say, "Kept telling you guys this person has been creepily gathering information from anti-Vivs and chasing her former employees around to get dirt to try and ruin her livelihood. This can't continue. They plan on doing something when people's NDAs expire in July." They then go on to talk about some other stuff, but to me this was the most relevant. It'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of July, especially if they're allegedly compiling stuff from people with NDAs. Overall, the situation seems a bit unnecessary, but let me know what you think in the comments below. That's all I wanted to cover for this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.